Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Happiest Hour on Earth. I'm your host, Emily.
And I'm your other host, Chris.
We're so excited you joined us for this episode. It's going to be a really fun one. We're going to be pretending that we are the CEO of Disney for the day. If we could just have control over the whole company for one day, what would we do? I mean, the possibilities are endless.
They are.
There's the parks, there's the movies, there's so many facets to the Disney company, and it's just such an interesting thing to think about what our first move would be if we could just switch things up a bit.
Yeah, I'm really excited to jump into this topic because I feel like while Bob Iger was there for the first time, everyone loved everything he did for the most part. And then Bob Chapek came in, and then people were like, the Disney community was crazy, mad at him, and then Bob Iger came back in. And we just feel like he hasn't really done enough. It doesn't really feel like the Iger era that we know. First off, we would be terrible CEOs of a company if we just jumped in for one day and tried to change things. And this is not really looking to maximize profits or anything like that. Yes. We're just saying this is what we as fans would want. And I cannot wait to talk about our and also our listeners' suggestions on like what they would do if they were Disney CEO for a day.
I know.
We got some good ones.
There's so much to it. And yes, we are definitely not aware of, you know, the financial implications of this stuff.
We would probably take the business.
We might take the business, maybe, or we would create way more Disney fans through it. I don't know. I don't know. But it's fun to just imagine. So we're really pumped and we're ready to jump into this episode. So let's go ahead and jump in.
All right, so before we get started, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free. Awesome. And it supports our show. Also, like this video too. That also helps out our channel. Also, if you're listening on a podcasting platform right now, go ahead and hit that follow. Hit the 5 stars wherever there's 5 stars. We love you so much for that. Yes. So thank you in advance. And yeah, we just are so appreciative of you and your support through these years. Yeah. Also, if you click in the links or the description, you'll see a whole bunch of links there. If you want to save on Disney candles, Disney shirts, Disney tickets, a whole bunch of stuff, coffee, good stuff. Go check it out there. Also, doing a quick plug for our own merch store that you could find in there. We are both wearing the same color because we love this color a lot. It's like a nice sand beige.
Oh, yes. This and we just got our newest one over the weekend because we are not our newest one. It's been created for a while, but we just decided that we wanted this one because it's such a fun design. It's got a very silly, happy face on it.
Yeah, right. We have the one where like the little one on the front and then a big design on the back. Yeah. It's so fun. I wear this one every single day because it's so comfortable. Yeah. Not every single day. Every single time we do a show. And then there's like multiple versions of this shirt.
So I kind of
just loved it so much.
This one is mine. Sort of.
I'll try to sneak it in once. Yeah. But we're going on a Disney trip soon. So we're like, we got to get our own merch
our
too.
Pod, I guess.
To rep. Yeah. And we do. It's more like on-demand, one-off things. So that being the case, we don't have all the shirts that we created because we have to pay for those too. But that also does help out our show, which is really cool. Yeah. So if you want to rep in the parks, go hit that link up. It'd be really cool. But for this episode, do you want to start with the first one? Okay, you start.
I can start.
Do it.
Yeah. I think we could probably all agree on this one. Our first idea is regarding the movies. Mm-hmm. And what we would say is that it's time to cancel all of the live action remakes that are planned because there's just already too many. There's so many. It's like their fallback right now. That's just all they think needs to be done or something. Yeah. I don't know. I don't quite understand it, but nobody's really a huge fan of the live actions. There's a
few that are good. Yeah.
Yes, we literally just watched Beauty and the Beast over the weekend, and that one's great. And there's a couple really great ones, but the rate at which they're making live actions instead of I don't know.
Well, we talked about this in our episode last week, I believe, that during the Renaissance era or like right after that, not from the animation standpoint, but the live action standpoint,
originals.
We had The Parent Trap, Freaky Friday, National Treasure, Mighty Joe Young. There was so many within that. Pirates of the Caribbean. so many originals. Some, yes, were remakes, but
or kind of like based on, like Pirates is based on the ride.
Yeah,
but like
and like
still
Parent
like
Trap.
original.
But go back to something like that. That was an awesome time to be alive. They were just all amazing movies. And now, yes, I know that they're money makers, making a live action remake, even if they're not good, it brings in the studio a lot of money. Yeah. However, the last couple, like Pinocchio, Lady and the Tramp, those weren't really money makers because they went straight on Disney Plus. And I'm not sure who got Disney Plus just to watch the live action one. Usually with live action remakes, we watch them once. We're like, okay, and then we're done.
Now, it's not like the animated films where it's like every so often we just have to watch a favorite of ours. Like I'll always pick the animated version over the live action of those stories.
Now, one that I am excited for though, Mufasa.
But that's kind of original.
Mufasa, I forgot what it's called. I think it's like the something.
Yeah,
maybe Mufasa the Lion King. But that is almost kind of like an original. So I'm fine with things like that. I didn't really care for Maleficent too much, but at least it was taking a different twist on a story. If you want to do that, that's cool. Excited for Mufasa.
Standpoint, yeah.
But the one we have that's, was announced semi-recently, Moana. And the crazy thing. Too soon. Right? Was it 2016 that Moana came out?
Yeah,
also,
not even a decade.
They announced live action Moana, and then they're making a real animated Moana too. I'm like, is that
like that's
Moana
a lot
fatigue?
Of Moana going on?
Because I love Moana.
Yes, obviously we love it, but it's like could have staggered it a little bit, or like
done Moana live action in 30 years.
Yeah, like just waited it out on one of those. But yeah, it just feels like some kind of interesting creative decisions.
They're also doing the Lilo and Stitch live action, which I actually saw set photos of today.
Gonna be really weird.
I think it's gonna
throw me off.
Too weird with like an anime, like Jungle Book. Yes, was a human kid with animated, animals, and that was amazing. But animated like Alien with I don't know. I love Lilo and Stitch. That's gonna be kind of.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Okay, we've probably harped on live action enough, but. Yeah,
I say we just cancel it. Try to focus on real.
Someone creative come up with some great new live action originals, or just
focus on some animated. Yeah. Speaking of animated, we as Disney CEO are going to tell the studio to finally create a 2D animated movie again, hand drawn to an extent, right? Like Princess and the Frog wasn't. I think it was done on.
I don't know exactly,
computers and stuff like that. 2009 was the last time we got that, though.
A long time ago.
And I think everyone's itching for it. And I think what is great about a 2D animated movie is that it brings in a nostalgia factor because it's the animation that we grew up on, but it's not going the cheap route of like doing another sequel or a remake. So it plays on that nostalgic factor without doing what everyone always says. Oh, they're doing too many sequels. They're doing whatever. Do an original 2D animated movie again. And the thing I loved about 2D animation, and we just put out, I think, a reel about this, is the beautiful things you could do with the backgrounds. I mean, Pocahontas with the whole watercolor.
So beautiful. They all just look like paintings.
They were like paintings. Where in, the newer movies, they look a little more realistic. And you can't really be as abstract as they used to be back then. So we would tell the studio to do another 2D animated movie. So we got cancel all the live actions, do a 2D animated movie, and moving on. What are we doing? This switches over to the parks.
Yeah, there's a lot to say about the parks, but another thing that we can all agree on, I would say, is we need to make the parks less complicated.
Yep.
Planning a trip has become such a difficult task nowadays. Ever since things reopened, things have just gotten crazy. I feel like nothing has been the same since that time. Like back before everything, it was so much easier to plan a trip.
Yeah.
There's so many facets to planning for a Disney trip now. Not only the cost, that's also crazy, but I mean, Genie Plus, it's like you have to have Genie Plus in order to do anything. That's where your, lightning lanes are at. I feel like that's, well, I don't
it's just
even know.
So, yeah, so it's just so crazy.
It's too
the whole
confusing.
like,
What
Genie
even else
Plus,
does Genie Plus do?
It's like, it kind of can give you hints on the day and stuff like that. But it's like Genie Plus, but then Genie Plus, like the paid, but then the Lightning Lanes, and then Lightning Lanes Plus. I forgot what it's called. It's just a huge, like, it's so hard. I knew someone going to the parks for the first time in a long time. I was writing up notes and I was like, I need to remember how to do this. It's just so complicated. You also have the reservation
systems. Yeah. So bad. So complicated. I just don't know why it had to go that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, reservation system at first was.
I mean, it made sense at first. Of course,
yes.
But why did it stay? Like, there's no reason for it. It was working out just fine the way that it was.
Yeah, it's really hard. And I think if we had our way, we would bring back the old fast passes because they were so great. The paper fast passes. I understand it was not good for the waste of paper. They're so good though. Maybe get one and then you. Good. But yeah, so
it's like one fast pass for the day. Like,
and you just hold on to it and
you like scan it at different rides or something.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That'd be awesome.
Why is that not the thing?
I mean, it is so convenient to have it on the app, but it just needs to be
everybody loved fast passes.
Simpler. So just fix that whole system. So figure out Genie Plus, remove the reservation system, and just figure out how to make it less complicated because you do need to know everything. Also, the thing is, it's so busy that like if you tell someone, oh, you should see this show, and then you're like, you need to like reserve that in the app like right at noon to make sure that everything's so complicated. It's like, how do you just figure out a way to like streamline it and make it easier for everyone? But
crazy.
Next thing we would do as Disney CEO would be differentiate park experiences. So we see a lot of repeat rides. Right, we see it with Frozen. I know why they're doing Frozen in every park. It's a big moneymaker for them, and that's fine to do that.
Tron,
but they had Trons are going everywhere, right? Avatar, they're going to be doing one, they say, in Disneyland now.
We don't know exactly what it's going to be.
Yeah, if it is Avatar, the concept art did look like Avatar 2, which is very water focused, and that looks really beautiful. And if it would be awesome if they did a water ride like Shanghai Pirates. So you get Flight of Passage on one coast, which is an incredible ride system. And then you get the Shanghai Pirates ride system over here. I would be all for that. I mean, that sounds amazing.
Pretty dope.
But I think there's a lot of times where they just replicate. And you got to differentiate because then that gives people the desire to go to Florida or Japan or Shanghai and all that stuff. So differentiate and don't be too cookie cutter with it. So just sitting down and being like, what should we do here? What kind of lands do we want to do where we could have all new rides there?
Yeah.
That's a good example, like Galaxy's Edge, right? Both the exact same.
Yeah, that's true. The whole land, it's not even just like a ride.
Yeah. So try to avoid that overlap.
Yeah.
Agreed. And make it fun and exciting for sure.
I agree.
Oh, okay. This one might be a double.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
a fun one. I like this one.
Yes, we've talked about this in a previous episode, actually. But
yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll pop it up here. We had so much fun talking about this episode.
That was a fun episode, and this idea would be such a moneymaker, such a popular thing for people to do. Yeah. Smaller temporary experiences around the globe. So rather than theme parks, which are extremely expensive to create, takes time, so much money, so many minds and workers and all of that. This would be more like pop-up bars, escape rooms, VR, maybe Disney resort hotels spread out around the world. Such fun ideas could come out of that.
Yeah. And I could talk about the Disney resort hotels in a little bit. I actually just kind of added it to this one, but we thought how cool it would be to, and in this episode, we go a lot more in depth on these different types of things. But imagine you have Florida, you have California, but then in almost every major city across the US and maybe even other countries as well, you do a pop-up escape room that's there for a couple of months. Right?
Yeah.
You could do some of the escape room ideas we had were escape the jail from Pirates of the Caribbean, escape the Haunted Mansion, Disney theming. Very, very exciting. Everyone loves escape rooms, and that people love limited time experiences. Yeah. They want to experience it, take the photos before it changes out, and just say, I was one of those people that got to experience this. And maybe you get switch it out to something else. But we also talked about the pop-up bars. I know you talked a lot about this. Do you want to talk some ideas and how cool it'd be? I mean, it'd be so awesome.
This has been like something that we have imagineered about. If we had the opportunity to open something like this, I think we totally would do it. Pop-up bars that are like a Disney theme for a time, like one movie or ride theme for like a couple of months, and then switch everything out after a couple months and switch it to something completely different.
You could have Disney drinks and Disney snacks there too.
Yeah.
So it's a slice of Disney in your, in your state or, closer to you.
Yeah.
But you know how many people would flock to that? But the pop-up bars, you could do Alice in Wonderland.
I was going to say Alice in Wonderland.
Jungle Book. Like you could do some really cool things. You could even do pop-up bars like a pop-up Trader Sam's, a pop-up Okus Cantina. That you get
like,
experience,
ride-wise, do like Tower of Terror.
Ooh, like a little
like a Haunted
speakeasy
Mansion,
thing.
like a super like spooky, like
that would be
ghosty one. Like how much fun would that be?
And then we talked about the VR experiences. Like they did one called The Void in downtown Disney and Disney Springs for a while, which was the Star Wars thing. And it made you really feel like you were living out your Star Wars adventure. We don't like VR that much, but it was like physical environments. Like if you reached out to grab like a Stormtrooper blaster, you actually had one there. If there was a lever in your ship, you reach down and it's right there. Really cool stuff.
Such cool ideas.
And then we got an idea within this realm from our friend Jordan, the park hopper. She changed her name. That you could even do Disney resort hotels scattered throughout the country. So maybe, you don't build a Disney park in the middle of America, like Texas or something like that. Maybe you do a big Disney resort there though, with a water park there, a lot of fun like camp style activities, Disney movies under the stars, Disney restaurants, foods, bars, and all that stuff. So it's almost like a Disney cruise ship, but you're just going there for like 2 nights just to experience Disney magic.
Oh my gosh, I would be all about that. Can you imagine how many people would pay to go do something like that?
Yeah.
If you don't live super close to one of the parks, but you're a huge Disney fan and something like that opens up like close enough to you to do. Yeah. Imagine how much money they would make.
Fun activities. Yeah. Like,
for like for adults and kids, adults, like to have like more adult style stuff and plenty of stuff for the kids. Yeah. So fun.
That'd be so cool.
I mean, like Alani exists in Hawaii, which is sort of kind of that idea, but also not. And it's still pretty far away. So I don't know. That'd be awesome. It would be such a fun idea. And you think about like what Disney has like channeled money into creating, and really like all that comes to mind is like Disney Plus, which obviously we love Disney Plus. Watch it all the time. It's so useful, but they only generate like
I don't even know
a couple bucks a month, like
per person.
Exactly. But like this kind of thing, imagine how much more like revenue there would be.
It would be awesome. And like I said, the whole FOMO factor, scarcity, right? It's only going to be there for a little bit before it switches. I think it'd be cool to really do some smaller experiences throughout the country. I think that'd be a big moneymaker.
It'd be so much fun.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yep.
This isn't very specific, but what I would do, figure out Tomorrowland. Really nail down a plan.
Needs some help.
It needs some help. I mean, I would love to get the People Mover back. I would love to figure out like what theme are we actually going for? Are we going more space? Yeah. Are we going more what? I don't know. It's just all over the place, right? So figure out Tomorrowland. This could be a whole episode, so I'm not even gonna like
we could go
on this
further.
I know we were planning to talk to another podcast about this and give our ideas. But I don't really know what's right because technology is moving so fast that whatever you put in Tomorrowland is going to be outdated unless it's something like more focused on space exploration, which I guess it kind of is with Star Tours and Space Mountain. But it needs to look futuristic. Yeah. Right? It needs to. Right now it just looks so outdated. So figure out what to do. I know we said differentiate experiences. Something like Tron with those lights at night, something with a lot of kinetic motion. Yeah. You kind of need to do something there. But
but like everything going on in there right now just kind of doesn't make sense. You've got a Buzz Lightyear thing in one area. You've got Star Tours. Then you've got like an empty, maybe Innovations building.
Yeah, we haven't been in there for a long time. Yeah.
Just like random stuff that nothing's cohesive.
Yeah.
So I feel like they need to definitely like pick a plot line.
Yeah. Pick a plot line. And also Finding Nemo subs is
That's true.
technically
I
in
guess that counts
Tomorrowland,
too.
which
Yeah, also just doesn't make any sense
doesn't
there.
make sense. Yeah.
Like, that should be in like that. I don't know.
I
feel like that should
is.
be in California Adventure. We talked about that.
Oh, moving everything Pixar over to Pixar.
Yes, Pixar should all be over there. I don't
I
know.
I do love that water feature, even
Me
though I
too.
don't like the ride.
I mean,
gets
yeah,
stinky.
like it would have to all move. Like all the water would have to move.
Yeah, which I don't think they'll do, but that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, next up, another park. We got a lot of park stuff because we're big park people.
Yes, and the parks always can use improvement. I
Yeah,
guess.
for sure.
But we need to incorporate villains into Disneyland Forward,
Yeah.
which hopefully is actually a part of the plan. I don't know.
I would love
I feel
that,
like we
yeah.
don't like have really definite knowledge about Disneyland Forward yet.
Yeah, they mentioned they could be bringing stuff over from Fantasy Springs that's going into Tokyo Disney Sea. So maybe we'll see Peter Pan, Tangled, Frozen. And we know that they're already starting like permits for the Behind Big Thunder Mountain in Magic Kingdom, which is going to include Coco, Encanto, and villains. But we don't just
That's
need
over
it in
there.
Magic Kingdom. We need villains are huge.
I know they're huge and they have such a fan base.
Yeah.
And so many people want more of the villains. Like they need their space in the park. I mean, yes, you can meet them. It's cool. Like they're a part of some of the shows and stuff, but it's not much.
Yeah.
And they're a huge part of Disney stories.
Yeah.
So it would just be really cool to have kind of, it doesn't have to be a huge area.
Yeah, maybe
there
like
should be
Toontown
something.
size.
Yeah.
I would love a bigger area for sure. And I always wanted Walt Disney World to just build a whole nother park that's dedicated to villains, because that would be so awesome. Like a smaller park. But yeah, I don't think they could do something super big. But yeah, do Sinister Square, like we talked about.
Yep.
Just kind of small, 2 rides.
Yeah.
Even if it was one ride and a lot of meet and greets in a old kind of dilapidated looking.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I know, like, I get it. Disney is supposed to be kind of like light and fun and happy and like all this stuff. But if you make a villain's land, it's going to be popular. And it doesn't have to be like super dark.
Yeah, no.
A little bit, but then like some of the villains are like goofy.
Okay, wait. Remember, it's supposed to be so happy and all that stuff. Fantasyland rides that have been there for a long time or have been really scary. So it's like,
yeah, they're dark in their own right. Even if they're not like villain.
We just think like
themed.
Universal, their Halloween Horror Nights are so popular. Everyone loves those. And then in Epic Universe, they're actually building a villain, quote unquote, monster land. And I think there's an appetite for that, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who love that Disney during Halloween stuff. So if you have a permanent place to visit, that'd be pretty awesome.
I don't know. I have a feeling that they won't necessarily do something like that though, because of Halloween being that like limited time thing.
That's true.
I feel like they don't want to detract from the popularity of that time by just creating a land that has all those things in it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm curious to hear their plans for Magic Kingdom though, and how they're gonna do that out, because we also have Universal creating something in Las Vegas, a very small area that's gonna be horror all year round. So, it's gonna be interesting. But moving on to the next one here, we have 2 more, and then we have some listener ones. But one thing that I would do as a Disney CEO would be to fix vacant space. Yes. You have Galactic Star Cruiser in Walt Disney World. The first Star Wars hotel experience, a cruise ship type thing, lasted not very long. Now it's just sitting vacant. Hyperion Theater in California Adventure, just sitting vacant. They haven't had a show there for a long time. Innoventions, like we said, it's part DVC Lounge, I believe, or Magic Key Lounge, one of those. And then pretty much nothing. So if there's any empty space,
do something with it.
Yeah, do something with it. And we had ideas for Galactic Star Cruiser, but I know you can't definitely don't tear it down. Either make it just a Star Wars hotel without all the other activities, because that's really what it was it was so expensive that people weren't going.
Yeah.
So you could cut costs if it's just a Star Wars hotel, or you have it as a daytime experience that could be added on, and you get shuttled in from Galaxy's Edge. You get to explore there, have a lot of fun time. Maybe do it a hybrid, but maybe it's a hotel. And if you want to do all those things, you do pay extra, but let people just sleep in the hotel if they want to and don't want to do the other stuff, because it'll be cheaper price and they could stay there and it would be more at capacity than, it was. Cause it was just too much. I love that they tried it, but now it's just sitting vacant.
They really shot for the stars there with those prices. And I knew it wasn't going to do well. I was like, who is going to go and pay that much?
Yeah.
Like long term, like, yes, there's going to be those few people that are like, I have to
right
experience
at the beginning,
it.
Yeah.
And then it just died out. Obviously, it's like, make it cheaper, make it more doable, keep it open, and you'll have a lot more people coming.
Yeah.
Like you'll make the money back eventually.
Exactly. And you need to fix the vacant space, because then that also ushers people into those spaces, which means hopefully a little bit
away
less
from the crowds.
Yeah. So that's what we would do. We would definitely try to set a plan in motion there. But we have one more, which we talked about in another episode. But do you want to give us this last one?
Yeah. Our last one would be to potentially open a 5th gate at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
And I don't exactly know what it would be. I feel like, again, the opportunities are endless, but
they got to compete with that big universe.
They do. And they have endless space.
Crazy. Yeah.
It's like, you might as well just open a whole new park. Like, I don't know.
I know. There is an episode that I did. So I think it was soon after we had our baby. And so I just did it by myself. It was actually like a 2-part episode.
And they did very well.
They did. Yeah. So you could definitely check them out here if you're on YouTube. I think you could only do one at a time, but you can check it out there, or you could scroll back if you're listening on a podcasting platform. Here's some of my ideas. I actually broke down what I would like to see in each land. And I feel like my thoughts have even evolved since then. I would probably change it a little bit more, but that was a really fun episode to do. But yeah, I think Universal Orlando is really coming for Disney's throats. And I think they need to do something, because more people are going to add an extra day or 2 at Universal Orlando, because there's so much to do, which takes away people from Walt Disney World. So you gotta think of something new. I know they're expanding, right? Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, all that stuff. And I think that's a great idea too. You could go that route and just make those those lanes that are already there bigger. But a 5th gate would be fun.
It would be, and a lot of money, and it would. Maybe it's already in the works, and it's just like a lot of planning, and finances to figure out. But I mean, it has to be on their minds.
Yeah,
they have to be thinking about it, because Universal has really stepped up their game a lot over the last couple of years.
I think they've actually. I've seen a couple of Disney Imagineers become Universal. They're not called Imagineers, but Universal. They work for Universals
term.
Yeah, there was someone we were following, and they got moved over to Universal, and I'm like, that is an awesome opportunity for them. But I think they're poaching Disney Imagineers, and that's why we've seen a lot of
the quality has really.
Which I'm not trying to create a scenario, but I'm wondering if there's these creative minds that would love to do something new, but Disney's just we have to just replicate these same things, or are kind of suppressing their creativity. So they're like, okay, if I could go to a new land and have more creative freedom, I'm going to do that.
I'm sure that's the case. I'm
just throwing that out there, but it could be happening. Yeah.
Whether it's financial reasons that Disney's holding back, or if they're just trying to take the easy way and just kind of do the same stuff everywhere. I'm sure there's people, Imagineers, getting frustrated and being like, okay, if I can't flex my creativity here, of course I'm going to go somewhere else. Yeah. If they're, if Universal's willing to pay and do that kind of thing, then why wouldn't you, I guess.
So crazy.
It would be tough to leave a job at Disney, but maybe some people that's happening with, I don't know.
It's crazy,
but
that is what we would do if we were co-CEOs, I guess, at Disney. I know there's probably a lot more that just didn't come to our mind, but we did hear from some listeners. So should we jump into some of these here?
Oh my goodness, we got
we got a lot. Oh, number one.
I checked last.
Yeah, well, number one. what our listeners said. We heard from Lulu B Buzz and Memories, the Mer Monsters _ my.disney.favorites _ and at Bootsy 319. And they all said, bring back fast passes.
A very popular one.
People, yes. Oh,
Everybody
man,
wants
fast passes are the best.
They were
Genie
the
Plus
best.
just kind of cramps our style.
It does.
Stresses us out too much. So we feel you, everybody.
Yeah, that was definitely on our list.
Yeah, for sure.
Next was from at Miss Rachel May V and at Madeline Argyle, who both said make tickets more affordable.
I know. I wanted to add that to our list too, but I was thinking about the tanking the business thing. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm sure it would increase crowds a lot. Maybe. I don't know. I think people are willing to pay whatever to go, but
they really are.
Feel ya. I mean, our 3-year-old now, we had to pay for him for this trip. So our ticket prices just jumped up like
so much.
Yeah, hundreds of dollars just because he turned 1 age older. And yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah. I guess I would have kind of lumped this in with like the, make planning
Experience
a trip
better,
simpler, but yeah, cost wise, that goes into it as well.
Yeah.
It's not a cheap vacation to have anymore.
Yeah.
Never
Honestly,
has been,
sometimes we like price things out and everyone says Disney cruises are so expensive, and they are. But we're like, wait,
it
if we go
out,
to, yeah, especially in Disneyland, because hotels are so expensive. We're like, if we did Disneyland tickets for this many days, hotel and food, it's pretty much the same price as some cruises. So,
yeah.
And then also if you're thinking about just going abroad and going to like Europe or something like that, you could definitely pay less like here. But I feel like, depending on like what you're doing, but it's crazy. But next we actually had a more fun one. So not like business decisions. This is, I had 1 day as a CEO and I'm going to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I love this. We heard from 2 people. We heard from at Rochelle
Puglio?
Puglio.
I think the G might be silent. Puglio.
Oh, Puglio. Yeah. There we go. She said, visit the underground town. And I think she's talking about the utilidors under Magic Kingdom. And yeah, there is, if you want, there's actually a tour you could do in Walt Disney World, and they take you there.
I can't remember what that one.
So you don't even need to work your way up to CEO at Disney. You can do it. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Actually, it's like, in the 100 range. I don't think it's at to 200 yet, but if you want to check those out, add that to your trip. I would love to do it one day.
Yeah.
It'd be so fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Things that, rights that you get as a high up in the company.
Yeah. See all the places that no one else gets to see.
Exactly.
Yeah. And this one kind of falls in line with the just more fun. At Kellywell 3, she said, cut all the lines. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Imagine going as a Disney CEO with some of your favorite Imagineers, riding all those rides and cutting the lines. Yes, I am all for that.
That would be so nice.
So fun.
However, I don't know. Well, I guess probably a CEO. You can do it, no problem. But I do know that someone we know was in line for Pirates. Pirates. And
Tony Baxter
was in line, I believe, in front of him. And they were just chit-chatting. He was like, hey, you didn't, skip to the front. And he was like, nope, I wait in line like everybody else. Yeah. I was like, you're Tony Baxter.
It's crazy.
But,
I would assume they would just get VIP services all day.
Well, I'm sure he could. Sure he could. Maybe he's just one of those that's like, nope, if you guys have to wait, I'm going to wait too.
I love that. That's cool though.
Next up, we have one from at All Day Disney who said, create a 5th park.
Yep.
Love it.
Feel it.
That was our idea as well.
So cool. Let us know if you're listening what you would want the park to be.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube. Let us know in the comments.
If you have
That'd be
ideas.
Awesome.
It's
always fun hearing those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we heard from at jollyholiday _Leah. I crushed that name. I know that last time I think we said that name. It took a while, and she was laughing that
I'm not
that we did it.
Like
and
saying,
look at that, Leah.
Names.
I just
he did it.
So seamless.
I'll let him get the.
This was my 5th cake,
name.
but I did do it. No, I'm just kidding. And so she said, cancel adding Avatar to Disneyland. I just don't think DLR needs it. Yeah, I'm not like too keen on the fact, like, especially if they're just going to repeat it over to Disney World's over here.
Yeah.
If it was, like we said, if it was going to be different and like a totally different feel and includes that ride system, the Pirates Shanghai type ride system, that'd be cool because it's like the Avatar 2 concept art that we saw. That would be awesome. But yeah,
I'm kind of indifferent
I want
to
real
it.
Disney. I want real Disney, although we love Avatar.
I do. Yeah. I mean, obviously it would be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Whatever they do, if it's anything like the one in Animal Kingdom, it's going to be incredible.
When Joe Rohde did, he would have to come back for that.
Right? Seriously, I don't know if they could even like do it
he's actually
without him.
Yeah, Joe Rohde's actually back as like pretty much like a consultant or a trainer of Imagineers now. So he's kind of back.
That's
with
amazing.
Disney
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He's the master. But yeah, in general, I guess I am also kind of indifferent to it. It's like I feel like they could do something a little more new and like fresh rather than just replicating once again.
New and fresh, even meaning old. Like go old Disney. You know? Pull up some old movies that aren't in the parks. Yeah,
exactly.
I'd be all for that. Your turn.
All right, my turn. Next, we have one from @Maureen Holtzinger, who said, "Goodbye, Autopia. It's the LA traffic jam experience and take up enough space for 2 rides." Yeah,
that is hard. Yeah, because our son loves torn. Autopia.
Yeah,
but also it's a huge space. That
it's a huge space taker upper, and with the limited space that they have now, it's like, oh, you really could do a lot with that space. I don't know. I'm torn on it. It's very nostalgic. It's been there for forever.
Yeah,
but
and it is interesting too because they just announced recently that they're going to be switching to electric cars.
Which means they're not getting rid of it anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly.
They're putting all this
but
money
you know what
into
I think we need to do electric cars, but use the smellitizers. You know how they do for like cookies on Main Street and stuff like that. Do that the old smell, because I think it's going to be so weird.
Yeah,
Autopia without smelling that gas. So you're still protecting the environment by doing like the clean electric vehicles, but still pump that nasty gas smell
exhaust,
out there. That we're all the exhaust that we just
everybody
love.
loves
I crave it. I don't know why.
Something about it. Every smell in Disneyland just is a nostalgia smell.
Yeah, yeah. But we do kind of feel you, Marie. And like I honestly go back and forth with this on so many times.
There's a couple
rides. Get rid of it, and then our son loves it, and I'm like, well, maybe not yet.
Yeah, let him grow out of it one day.
Yeah,
then we'll see.
Then we'll crush another little kid's dreams.
That's sad.
No, just kidding.
All the little boys love that ride.
Yeah, yeah. Next, we hear from @Dr_Jurassic Park. He's actually the brother of my best friend. So what's up, Justin? Thank you for writing in. And he said, I would restart plans for the dragon/mythic section of Animal Kingdom. And yes, if you didn't know, there was something called Beastly Kingdom, and you could actually see it in the sign of Animal Kingdom. I think it's in the sign or something around there where there's a dragon on there. And they were planning to do, real life Animal Kingdom, but also do a section for mythological creatures. And I always thought that would be so amazing and awesome. You also... Now Universal is going to be doing How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of, dragon influence there. And we won't really have it at Disney World. However, they did do Pandora, which kind of hints at the mythical side, because you do ride the Banshee, which is the dragon. But I would love to see other mythical creatures in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
As like some sort of expansion there. Because ever since I first heard about that, which I think was actually from your brother, Phil, who told me about it. Yeah, I always thought that'd be an awesome idea. So thank you for writing in. That is so cool.
Great idea.
Yeah.
And last one we have comes from @Rox Lehman, who said, revisit the valuation of the resort hotels, especially Disneyland, where there isn't much perk to staying there. Also create more promos for international guests. Signed, a biased Canadian. Love it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'd be so awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Rox Lehman, she's been a huge supporter. I was a couple of these people for so long. And so we just are so thankful for you guys. But
it's true. Yeah. The resorts here really don't offer much if you compare them to Disney World.
You just pay a whole bunch of money
and
get a closer walk.
You're like close. And there's like, cool theming in them, but that's pretty much it. There's no like real perks.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be awesome. And then also the whole promos for international. Yeah. That'd be awesome for anyone coming to the US parks, but then also for us going to international parks. Because I would probably be a little more willing if they're like, hey, Tokyo Disney, see or whatever, like you get this special ticket offer. I'd be like, let's go. I think that'd be awesome. I mean, I would love to go regardless, but just a big trip. But if they did some sort of promo, yeah, that'd be awesome.
No kidding. I had never even thought of something like that, but
yeah,
great idea.
I'm surprised you didn't say create a Canadian Disney park.
Right?
That'd be awesome. I guess you can go to Epcot for that, right?
That's
true. A little section
That's
of
true. There is
Canada
Canada just for you.
Actually, let us know how well they do Canada and Epcot. You're probably like, this is nothing like
Canada could be a great place for a new park. I don't know.
I love Canada. I only went once when I was a teenager, but I'm ready to go back.
I have never been, actually.
I need to take her.
But I want to. There's actually a lot of places in Canada I would love to visit.
Yeah. Let's do it.
We'll
and then we'll say hi
you,
to Rox Lehman. But anyways, I think that concludes our episode. That was so much fun.
That was really fun.
Yeah, I would love to be CEO for a day.
I would as well. There's so much to
mainly
consider.
Just to go into the studio.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty awesome.
That's true. I mean, I guess we didn't even talk about like what
hang out all day
fun
at the
stuff
studio,
we would do. There's
going to
definitely
Walt's
a lot.
office. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, go to Walt's office. Go to any of the like Walt places or like into the studio where his office was, like anything like that.
Seeing where they created our favorite music and movies. Oh, that'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
For sure.
So much fun. I love getting to talk Disney with you and with you guys who write in. It really means so much. But we love you guys. Thank you for listening to our episode. And I guess we will see you all next week.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.